Hi scholars, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to write a rotation rule with proper notation, specifically for your task. So when we're looking at a rotation, we're looking at the pre-image and then the image. So let's remember the pre-image is what you start with, the image is what you have after the transformation, and the type of transformation we're going to do is a rotation. So write a rotation rule that maps ABC onto A prime, B prime, C prime. So again, I'm just going to pick a point. Now, I'm not going to pick point B because it has a lot of ones and negative ones, and that's going to be hard to deal with. So I'll go with point C. So C starts at the point -2, 3, and it goes to C prime, gets mapped at -3 and -2. Okay, so we want to think of this as x, y. Don't pay attention to where there's a negative or positive. And I also don't want you to think necessarily as negative or positive signs. I want you to think of it as opposite sign. So we have -2, +3, and then it changes to -3, -2. Well, the first thing I see is that my x and y flipped, okay? My 3 is now where my 2 was, and my 2 is where my 3 was. Now the -2 didn't change, but the 3 got a new sign, so we're going to change that to the opposite sign. Now when finding out how to write the rule, this is where a chart or your notes can come in handy. I would always use a chart for this, unless you're really good at turning the plane in your head, which I am not. So I'm going to look for the rule that matches this one, xy to -yx. And here it is. And I'll tell you, I only did counterclockwise for this, so we're not going to count the clockwise. So this is a counterclockwise rotation and of 90 degrees. So the way we write this, we're going to write a little r. That means rotation, lowercase r. Do not write uppercase because that's for a reflection. Lowercase r, and then in our parentheses, the first thing we write is the angle of rotation. Our angle of rotation was 90 degrees. Now, this is where I'm going to write some letters to be specific. This went counterclockwise, so I write CCW for counterclockwise, comma. And then the last thing we need to know is what is our center of rotation? Now, some of you are going to be rotating around the point on your shape, so I could have rotated this around point B or C or A, but remember these rules apply to the origin. So I went around point D, which is the origin. Okay, so the parts of the rotation rule would be the little r, which means rotation. I'm doing a rotation. The number is the angle of rotation. These letters tell me if I'm going counterclockwise or clockwise. And the letter at the end, D, tells me the center of rotation. If we wanted to write a clockwise rule, we'll just do it for fun. We would do R, and then this one we said matched up with the 270 degrees clockwise. So you could say 270 clockwise. And again, we went around the origin, which is point D. Let's do one more example. In my animation, I rotate my figure 20 degrees clockwise around point A. Write the rule to describe the rotation. So everything is right there. It says we're doing a rotation, so I write my little r. Open, oops, don't let it autocorrect you. Then inside my parentheses, 20 degrees clockwise. So 20, if you know how to put the degrees in, good on you. It's insert special character in the Google Doc. We went 20 degrees clockwise, and then our center of rotation is point A. Okay? And that's how you read it. So that's how you should be writing all your rules. And remember that when we write transformation rules, they always refer back to the pre-image. If you have any questions, you'll be able to come into my Zoom room anytime from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. See you there.